Krishna Prema. Joyamita Chaitanya Nach Re Amar Ma Joyamita Chaitanya Nach Re Amar Ma Nachari Armarma Nachari Armarma Nachari Armarma Nachari Armarma Ho! Goya Gita Chaitanya Guru Nachari Armarma Suchi Bevana Anurakto Hare Anurakto Hare Krishna Name Anurakto Hare Krishna Name Anurakto Hare Sapal habe jivera jivan Sapal anayasya sapal habe jivera jivan Jivan to niche hai Jivan to niche hai Vrindavane Radha Shamir Habe Darshan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda rose on the Hara is in a Gauda Desh, just like if the sun and the moon rose simultaneously in this world. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda came to dissipate the darkness of ignorance within the hearts of every living being. He came in the dark age of Kali Yuga. All the lotuses bloom in the daytime, but in Kali Yuga, the white lotus of good fortune blooms at night, in the night of Kali Yuga. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda illuminate the night. Srila Prabhupada, with such focus and determination, went all over India with his books. And following the orders of the spiritual master, he got on a ship, which is there in Calcutta. You can go and see it. Not the ship, but the dock. You drive over the bridge, and you look down to the dock where Prabhupada got onto the Jaladuta. You'll find that it's on the Ganga. The Jaladuta was on the Ganga. And Prabhupada got on that boat, went out into the ocean. traveled Boston Harbor, went to New York City. He went to the park. He sat down in Thompson Square Park by himself. He started chanting Hare Krishna. The first thing that happened was the police came and said, you can't do that here. You've got to move off the grass, sit under the tree. Prabhupada sat under the tree and he kept chanting. Then a Chutananda came and Brahmananda came. They started, Bruce and whatever Chutananda's name was, they started dancing. Prabhupada invited them back to hear the Bhagavad Gita. And more people came. And that's how the Krishna conscious movement started. By one kirtan, Thompson Square Park. Now there's devotees all over the world. There's not any time in any day when there's not a kirtan going on somewhere, in some time zone, because of Srila Prabhupada. And everyone is learning more and more about the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you dive into the ocean, the Sankirtan movement was chanting, dancing, and feasting. You'll come up on the shore of the pastimes of Shri Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in this last line of his song, he says, oh, how wonderful it is, the mercy of Lord Gauranga. Gaura Kripa Hole He. And now, you're really quiet, and you listen. You can hear in Milton, in Brandon, Scarborough, Winnipeg, Muskoka, Sudbury. You can hear a sound. Gore. Give me the gore note. Gore Kripa Hole. There it is. C-D-E-F. F. Gore Kripa Hole. Gora Kripa. You can hear it. Gora Kripa Hole. 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 Sai Chaitanya Rama. Sai Chaitanya Rama. Natchari Arman. Natchari Arman. Natchari Arman. Natchari Arman. Hey! Jaya Gauranga, 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 Jaya Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ma. Nach. Re. Ama. Ma. Gope manande. Gita Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Gita Gaura Hari Bol. Paramahamsa Parivrajakachaja Stotar Shishimad Bhaicharanada Vinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakachaja Stotar Shishimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavini Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Sri Mayapur Navdeep Dham Ki Jai. Sri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Samveta Bhaktivinoda. All glorious to some of the devotees. All glorious to some of the devotees. All glorious to some of the devotees. Gaur Premanande Hari. Namaste Narashinghaya. Valalada Jajayane. Shilatanka Nakalaye. Ato Nishingha Parato Nishingo. Yato Yato Yamitato Nishingha. Bahir Nishingo Radaye Nishingo. Namadim Sharanam Prapadye. Avakara Kambalakare Nakamadi Krishna. Dalita Hiranya Kashi Putani Vindam. Keshavadita Narari Rupa. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Nishinga Jai. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Joyamita Nach Re Amar Ma Joyamita Chaitanya Nach Re Amar Ma Nachare Armarma, Nachare Armarma, Nachare Armarma, Nachare Armarma. Ho! Goya Gita Chaitanya Guru, Nachare Armarma. Goya Gita Chaitanya.
Hare Krishna, everybody pumped up with the Kirtan.
Yes, Prabhu, amazing.
Yes, Prabhuji. Good. Start with the invocation. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Shri Chaitanya Manopistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantika Vande Aham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijan Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priya. Panchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha. Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for coming. So many devotees across all batches did a lot of direct and indirect services for my Guru Maharaj. I thank you all. Anybody wants to share what all you learned, what all you experienced quickly? Many of you are present here. Somebody quickly.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Being around Guru Maharaj was a completely uh, different experience. Also, we got a chance to do the Sankirtan book distribution, and it's like we were there for like couple of hours, and we were hardly able to convince people and give the books. Once he came, it's like it was almost, I think, every other people he was able to just being around him and learning that is a completely I'm very thankful for that thing. And also uh, in the temple we got a chance to meet him, and yeah, it was a completely different experience.
Very
So
good.
I'm really thankful for that.
Thank you for all your services. Somebody else? Quickly. Many of you were there. Somebody wants to share? Archana, Zisel, Malti, Matan.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I like to thank to you, Prabhuji, because it was means we were so scared to go close to Maharaj, and it's like you were like, no, you have to meet, you have to take a blessing. So it's really your blessing make us so confident that we are so fallen that we able to go in front of him and just pay our obeisances to him. Thank you to you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Archana. Archana did direct offering cooking for Guru Maharaj Guruma as well. Thank you. Very good. Rest of you? Zisel.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I second what Archana Mataji said. Actually, because of you, we had the confidence to go in front of Guru Maharaj. Also, through you, we were able to get Maha Prasadam from Guru Maharaj, and the orientation was very nice. It was a very nice learning experience, Prabhuji. Even in practical, when we went outside, it was a nice experience. Also, one thing I took away from one of the lectures I was listening to when I was doing services in the kitchen was Guru Maharaj said, you protect your service and your service will protect you. So that was Hare Krishna.
Very good. Any last one?
Hare Krishna. So I had a one-on-one meeting with Maharaj. So I feel already empowered meeting him, and he's very inspiring. And also I took shelter. So
Very good. Matan Prabhu took shelter from Guru Maharaj. Please accept our humble obeisances.
Thank you. Yeah, so he's very inspiring. When I went out with the book distribution, and he had a full control. Whoever, he meets, he stops people, and he has full control. And the way he talk to them, the way he distribute books, the way he talks about the books, it's all. It has very, very, very inspiring. So we can't do like him. So I'm just trying to learn. Thank you.
Very good. Yeah, he is definitely from spiritual world. That when he is around, books fly around. When we keep struggling. Very good. So you have the pictures on the screen. Many had a direct meeting with Guru Maharaj and Guru Ma, as well as spoke with them. And here's the verse directly from scriptures that Lava matra means the calculation of time is given in Canto 3 that 1/12 of a second is more than enough to make you a pure devotee when you meet a pure devotee like Guru Maharaj and Guru Ma. Therefore it says sadhu sangha sarva shastra kai. Lava matra sadhu sange sarva siddhi hoy. It's from Chaitanya Charitamrita and then from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.18. That when you serve the pure devotees, then you develop the taste of spirituality. So you all, those of you who are present here, you all did directly and indirectly all these activities. All right. Thank you again, all of you, for coming and doing direct and indirect services for Guru Maharaj and Guru Ma. Okay, so here's what we're going to do today. Ram Vilas will answer inquiries submitted from previous class and bring up on screen striking points. And then we will today cover Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, verses 2 and 3. Before that, we also welcome Sumnima from Nepal to this batch. She is in the process of getting caught up as well on the previous class recording, very diligently getting caught up. So welcome, Sumina. Please feel free to ask any and all questions as we go along.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. And I'll try my best to cover up and be a diligent student here.
Very good.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So question number 1, this is from last class. Divya asked about the Manu's calculations. So each 12-hour day of Brahmaji from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., there are 1,000 cycles of 4 yugas. Each day of Brahmaji from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., 12 hours, has 14 Manus, means lifespan of each Manu is about 50 minutes of Brahmaji. So we are in the 7th Manu. If you do the calculation from 6 a.m. onwards, so we are Brahmaji's current time, meaning is from 11:10 a.m. to 12 noon is the current 7th Manu, is the lifespan of the current 7th Manu, Vashishta Manu. Now each Manu lives for little more than 71 cycles of the 4 yugas, which you can simply divide that 1,000 cycles, you divide by 14, you will get just little more than 71 cycles. Now all these calculations are given in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3. I am giving you in summary form. Now we are in the 28th cycle when Krishna appeared. Now this 28th cycle, the yugas actually switched over. So Satyuga is first yuga, Dwarpa. Dwa means two. Dwarpa is supposed to be the second yuga. And Treta. Tre means three. Treta Yuga is supposed to be the third yuga. But to mark the special occasion of Krishna's appearance, the Treta Yuga and the Dwarpa Yuga swapped each other. So in this 28th cycle, the first yuga is Satyuga, then the second yuga instead of Dwarpa Yuga became Treta Yuga, and then the third yuga instead of Treta Yuga became Dwarpa Yuga, means the second and the third yuga, they swapped each other to mark the speciality of Krishna appearing. Just because the weight of Krishna swapped the yugas. Divya and everybody, does that answer the question?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much.
All right. Question number 2. Now, two devotees asked identical question. The purport reads, and above Brahmaji, there are even other living beings with individual capacities. Kindly elaborate on this. And the second devotee asked almost identical question from the same line, that Brahma is the first created being, as mentioned in the purport. Then who are they referring to as the other living beings above Brahmaji with individual capacities? So I have shown you this visual which is there on the screen, that from Krishna comes Balram, from Balram comes the first quadruple expansion of first Vasudeva, first Sankarshan, first Pradyumna, first Anirudh. From first Sankarshan comes Lord Narayan. From Lord Narayan comes the second quadruple expansion. And from second Sankarshan comes Mahavishnu, or the Karnodakshai Vishnu. And from Karnodakshai Vishnu comes Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and then from Paramatma. Now, all these personalities are definitely above Brahmaji. Now, of course, these are all spiritual, even if you look at the universe. So this is one universe where Brahmaji is sitting at the top. Now, Durga Devi is actually above Brahmaji also. And therefore, Durga Devi is able to bewilder even Brahmaji. So all these personalities, even in the material world, are all above Brahmaji. And I will answer in the upcoming question number 5 today, that as part of Sarga means primary creation, Lord created 10 demigods. Now, these 10 demigods were created even before Brahmaji was born. So all these personalities are above Brahmaji, as well as further discussion is coming up today with question number 5. Does that answer for the time being?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Yes, Prabhu.
Question number 3. Why did Lord Krishna manifest in different avatars such as Varahadev, Matsya, Narsimhadev, Kurma, etc.? Could he not have simply appeared in his Shyam Sundar form to defeat the demons? So we have discussed in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.1 Swarat. Swarat means Lord is completely independent. Now this point is explained in many other places also. From the list of incarnation mentioned in the question, I will give you the example of two, Varahadev and Narsimhadev, example to understand this inquiry. So Varahadev appeared in the boar form so as to lift earth on his tusks from the bottom of the ocean. And Narsimhadev appeared in the half lion, half man form to satisfy Brahmaji's benediction to Hiranyakashipu and still kill Hiranyakashipu. So from Brahmaji, Hiranyakashipu wanted the benediction to be eternal. And Brahmaji replied that Brahmaji himself is not eternal. So how can Brahmaji give the benediction of eternality to Hiranyakashipu? Therefore, Hiranyakashipu asked the benediction that no man can kill him, no one can kill him during day or during night, no weapon can kill him, etc., etc. So as to cover all permutation combinations to not get killed. Therefore, Narsimhadev appeared in half lion, half man form during dusk time and killed Hiranyakashipu with his nails. So the point is that each incarnation has a purpose. So Narsimhadev satisfied all of Brahmaji's benedictions and still went on to kill Hiranyakashipu. So all incarnations have a particular purpose. Therefore, all these different incarnations appear. But they are all at the Vishnu Tattva level. They are all identical to original Krishna. Of course, original Krishna in his Shyam Sundar form is of course original. We have discussed the analogy of the candle, that the first candle is of course the first candle. Does that answer the question? All right. Question number 4. Please shed some more light on the differences on the various names of the Lord and why not all of them are as powerful as chanting Hare Krishna. So all names of the Lord are identical to the Lord and equally powerful. It is just that the process given for Kali Yuga is to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra because Lord has infused all his blessings and energies in the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We'll discuss in Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 4, during Satyug time, the mantra to be chanted was Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Therefore, Srila Narad Muni, as spiritual master of Guru Maharaj, asked Guru Maharaj to chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we have to follow the authorities. And it is Srila Narad Muni who brought this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra from spiritual world to the material world for the benefit of all. But all names are equally powerful. Does that answer the question?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
All right. Question number 5. It's a loaded question and the last question for today. Question number 5 is, the all-perfect Lord threw a glance over matter and thus created living beings were born. Please explain this statement in a little more detail. So this is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5, verses 22 to 38, about the whole process of Sarga. Sarga means primary creation by the Lord. So these verses are very, very technical verses, and a plain read of these verses, one may not grasp everything as intended. Therefore, Ram Vilas will describe the process of creation with a visual in front of us, and then it should make easier to follow. For batch 5 devotees, the initial discussion of how body is constructed of the 24 elements is upcoming in tomorrow Sunday's class with Bhagavad Gita chapter 13, verse 6 and 7. So to explain this, visualize this. So you have Vishnu, Mahavishnu, Karnodakshaya Vishnu, from whose pores all these bubbles are infinite universes emanating. So my next visual, and Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5, describes Sarga, meaning primary creation, which is at this point of time. Brahmaji is not yet born. Creation is still happening. Creation also hasn't happened in full. It is still in the process of happening. This is where creation verses are described, and I will show you the next next slides to answer this. Have undivided attention. I will pause at the end for you to take a snapshot. So originally, only Lord existed before creation. So I showed you the visual, this visual before. Only Krishna existed. All these Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, Paramatma, they did not exist. Only Lord existed. So then Lord expanded into Karnodakshai Vishnu to start creation. There was nobody else, no demigods, nobody, no Karnodakshai Vishnu, no Garbhodakshai Vishnu, no one. Only Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, existed. So Karnodakshai Vishnu, the first thing that gets manifested is Kala, meaning time. Jivas already exist, but they don't have material body. Karnodakshai Vishnu glances on Pradhan. Pradhan is material nature. To understand Pradhan and Mahat Tattva, when Karnodakshai Vishnu glances onto Pradhan, Pradhan is agitated and Mahat Tattva is manifested, and the three modes in their unmixed state is manifested. Now, to understand Pradhan and Mahat Tattva, so you know that, say, a child, a parent gives them a brick of clay to play with. And the child breaks a small corner of the brick, the clay brick, and makes something out of it. So Pradhan is the big brick of clay, and Mahat Tattva, which is the manifested universe, that is carved out from Pradhan, and the manifested universe where we are living is manifested. So there are multiple steps happening after this point. Even here also there are steps. At each next step, three things are required simultaneously. Karnodakshai Vishnu's glance, Kala, and Mahat Tattva. So there's creation happening. At each next step, these three things are required simultaneously. So from Mahat Tattva, Ahankar or ego got manifested. Ahankar is predominantly in mode of ignorance. Now understand that the three modes, which is the mode of goodness, the mode of passion, and the mode of ignorance, they were sitting in unmixed state. This is very important. Unmixed state. The Ahankar is also in unmixed state. All these individual components are getting manifested, but they are all sitting in unmixed state. Then at each step, so for Ahankar to get manifested, Karnodakshai Vishnu's glance, Kala, and Mahat Tattva, all three are required to manifest Ahankar. Next step, Ahankar is mixed with the different modes. So Ahankar mixed with goodness. From here, mind and the 10 senses, demigods, are manifested. Then Ahankar mixed with passion, the prana, the 10 senses, intelligence is manifested. and ahankar mixed with ignorance, the 5 great elements are manifested. Again, at each step, Karnodakshay Vishnu's glance, Kala, and Mahattattva is required for these next items to get manifested. Further expansion or further manifestation are these 5 great elements. How these 5 great elements? So we know the 5 great elements are ether, air, fire, water, and earth. First, sound is manifested. From sound, ether is manifested. From ether, touch is manifested. From touch, air is manifested. Now what happens is, the first element of ether, only the subtle quality of sound is there. So on the left side that you see, sound, touch, form, taste, smell, these are subtle qualities of the 5 gross elements of ether, air, fire, water, and earth. So at the first level, when ether is manifested, only sound is there. Then when the second quality of air is manifested, both these qualities, touch and sound, are there. Similarly, this process continues where all the 5 great elements as well as their subtle forms are manifested. Simultaneously, the 10 senses, so I explained that ahankar mixed with passion, the 10 senses are manifested, and then ahankar mixed with goodness, the 10 demigods are manifested to control each of these senses that we have. Now these 10 demigods, they are manifested as part of primary creation, Sarga. Brahmaji is still not born. These 10 demigods are even there before Brahmaji. So the previous question, number 2, about these personalities, these are these additional personalities. I mean, there are a few more. I can only give you so much just so as to not overwhelm you. I'm pretty sure you all must be overwhelmed already. I will pause here. You can please take a snapshot of this. I will pause here for any questions, comments, realizations. Does that answer the question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I had a follow-up question. The jiva is not into, like the jiva is not yet into come into play. It's
So
just
jiva comes into play as soon as Mahat Tattva is manifested. So jiva is in Mahavishnu's womb. Jiva does not have material body. When Mahavishnu glances on Pradhan and agitates Pradhan, simultaneously jiva's swarupa are manifested into Mahat Tattva, and as soon as all these elements are created, next step is Brahma takes birth, and then Brahma takes all the jivas one by one and gives them a body from one of the 8.4 million life forms, which is suitable to satisfy their desire. So Mahat Tattva, jiva are already infused, meaning jiva's swarupa are already infused. Sisa?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
So you can visualize that when you say the statement, Lord is the cause of all causes. So at each step, these 3 things are required. Karnodakshay Vishnu's glance, Kala, and Mahat Tattva. So Lord is the cause of all causes. And the second thing you can visualize that everything gets manifested from ahankar or ego. And ego is primarily in the mode of ignorance. And you can visualize that we are largely in the mode of ignorance. Anybody remembers a particular line from the Mahaprasade prayers that is relevant to this point that I just said?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, it's Sharira Vidya Jal.
Very good. Correct answer. Sharira Avidya Jal. Our sharir, our body, is avidya jal. Avidya means ignorance and jal means a network of ignorance. Now you all realize. Very good, Monarch Prabhu. Monarch Prabhu, go ahead. You have a question.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So Prabhu, in Bhagavad Gita, wherever Krishna is telling that one should be transcendental above three modes of nature, this goodness, passion, and ignorance, does it mean that one should be above the fourth step which you have mentioned in this chart?
Yeah, you are correct. That Krishna says should be in chapter 2 around verse 44, 45, as well as is there in chapter 14, that yes, we have to cross even the mode of goodness. So when you say cross the mode of goodness, means we have to cross material nature altogether. That's when we will be above the modes. Monarch Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, got it. Thank you.
Everybody on the same page? Questions, comments, realizations?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Is there any noise around? Can you get any
Okay.
noise from my
There's
side?
no noise today. Go ahead, Prabhu.
Okay, now you to come to the fourth stage, which is called pure mode of goodness. Not about the goodness called Visuddha Sattva. That's called pure mode of goodness. One has to situate in the pure mode of goodness, which is called Visuddha Sattva, right?
Correct.
That is
You
your
are
point?
correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said to Monarch Prabhu's question as well, that you have to cross the mode of all three modes, and then you will be in the mode of transcendence or Suddha Sattva mode, and you will be above the modes. I will give you striking points from devotees from previous class. There are 2 slides. So here's slide number 1. Take a snapshot. And here is slide number 2. Take a snapshot. And last week I sent a Prabhupada lecture. So devotee had striking points from Prabhupada lecture also. So take a snapshot of points from Prabhupada lecture. Questions, comments, realizations before we start Bhagavatam 1.1.2 verse? Okay. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, verse number 2 is obviously a key memorization verse. I will recite the verse right now, and for you all to memorize, I will explain afterwards how to memorize. You can follow the same step as 1.1.1, and I will explain when I first finish explaining this verse. So Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.2 is Dharma Projecta Kaitava Atra Paramo Nirmat Saram Satam Vedyam Vastam Atra Vastu Shivadam Tapatrayo Unmulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kim Vapareri Ishvara Sadhyo Hridi Avarudute Atra Kirtabi Shushropi Tatshanat. Okay, let's read the translation. Matan Prabhu, translation from the screen.
Hare Krishna. Translation: completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated, this Bhagavata Prana propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are truly pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for quote realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the theme of verse number 2 is that Srimad Bhagavatam is higher than Karma Kanda and Gyan Kanda. So Karma Kanda we know is demigod worship, and Srimad Bhagavatam is higher than demigod worship. Religiosity not progressing beyond dharma, artha, kama, moksha is not real religion, but it is pretentious. Initial words in the first line of the verse are significant. Dharma prajayita kaitava. Kaitava, so kaitava means covered by fruitive intention, and dharma means religion, and prajita means completely rejected, meaning completely rejecting all religious activities that are materially motivated. Dharma means real characteristics, that which cannot be changed. Example, water's intrinsic nature is liquidity. Similarly, soul's intrinsic nature is to serve. In Bhagavad Gita 15.7, Krishna says, all souls are parts and parcels of Krishna. Thus, serving Krishna is the intrinsic nature of the soul. The real dharma of the soul is to serve Krishna. Worship means service, and the highest worship is to serve Krishna. Under Karma Kanda or Jnana Kanda divisions, the religion is practiced for economic gains, meaning religion is for dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. This is pretentious religion because such religion is driven by the lower consciousness. Such religion is to fulfill material desires and is for sense gratification. Now, question for all of you. What are some of the examples of such pretentious religion? Somebody, everybody? Some examples. Somebody can think of?
Prabhu, if someone is trying to contribute and build a temple just to increase his name or popularity.
Yeah, very good. So to increase their own name, Shivangi says demigod worship, yes. Yajna for better health, yes. Sumnima, thank you. What else? What else can you think of? Why do people go to worship? Vijay Prabhu?
Oh, for the material desires and nothing else, personal
Yeah.
material desires, science
Yeah,
gratification.
material desires, sense gratification, all those are pretentious religion. And Sumnima, thank you again, wanting to go to heaven. Yes. So I will, all correct answers. So some further examples of pretentious religion is that person goes to temple for material benefit. That God, I will give you so much donation if you help me get a good job. Or demigod worship for a particular material benefit. Or somebody will say, God, please help my child get married. Or God, give me my daily bread, rather than trying to serve God. Or desire to attain moksha of merging with the absolute truth is also pretentious religion. Highest cheating religion, because you are practicing Jnana Kanda, you are studying Vedas to merge with the absolute truth. And when one merges, what disappears is the Krishna Bhakti permanently disappears. Or you are reading Upanishads or other scriptures so as to become pure, so that they can become one with the Supreme Lord. All these are desires to become one. These are faulty desires. So these are some of the examples of pretentious religion. And Srimad Bhagavatam says, Dharma projeta kaitava, that such cheating religions are completely rejected. Shivangi?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I had a question about the verse. In the translation, it says that the Supreme Lord is established within the hearer's heart. I just want to know what is meant by that, because isn't he already in everybody's heart?
He's already there in everybody's heart. Do you have the realization that he is in the heart? Shivangi?
No.
Yeah.
No, Prabhuji.
That's what he says, that you will get purified and you will realize him in your heart. He is present, but when you, it says that when you read Srimad Bhagavatam, which is compiled by Srila Vyasadeva, so it says, Ishvara sadoridi avaradute atra kirtbhi shushobhi tatshana. That when you read Srimad Bhagavatam, very soon Ishvara will be manifested. When it says manifested means you will be able to see or realize, talk with the Paramatma within yourself. Shivangi?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. So Bhagavatam 1.1.2, then after the first line rejects pretentious religion, then it says Atra Paramo. That Srimad Bhagavatam establishes highest religiosity and highest truth. So highest truth is the worship of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, because there is absolutely no trace of material motives. In Bhagavad Gita 15.18, it establishes that Krishna is beyond both the fallible and the infallible living entities, and therefore Krishna is celebrated all over as Purushottama, the Supreme Person. Srimad Bhagavatam gives information about the absolute truth in his personal feature, which is higher than the impersonal feature, which is also higher than the Paramatma feature of the absolute truth. Srimad Bhagavatam aims at supreme truth, who is the substance or the root of everything. We saw the visual about creation, that how Krishna or in his Purusha incarnation of Karnodaksha Vishnu is the root of everything. And in Bhagavad Gita also in 10.8, Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo, meaning Krishna says, I am the source of everything. So any religious activity not progressing beyond dharma, artha, kama, moksha is pretentious, because such religion is based on bodily concept of life, and such religion based on bodily birth. We are all souls, and souls' dharma of serving Krishna is superior to bodily dharma. So just as a fish out of water will never be happy, similarly, materially motivated, pretentious religion will not make people happy ever, because anything material is temporary, plus perverted reflection of the real nature of the spiritual world. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 15, very first verse, it states, this material world is upside down of the spiritual world. Means everything in the material world is a perverted reflection. Those who follow Gyan Kanda, their intention of studying scriptures is to get liberation. And after getting liberation, they stop their spiritual activity. Meaning, whatever spiritual activity they are doing right now before liberation is self-motivated and therefore is lower. Therefore, Bhagavatam says, Dharma Projayata Kaitava. But those who study Srimad Bhagavatam, they continue their activity of serving Lord Shri Krishna even after returning back home, returning back to Godhead, because Krishna's activities continue forever. From other scriptures other than Srimad Bhagavatam, one can understand a little bit about the absolute truth, there's no doubt about it, while Srimad Bhagavatam is the highest, because Srimad Bhagavatam provides information on the highest absolute truth, the Bhagavan feature of the absolute truth, as compared to the Brahman effulgence and the Paramatma features of the absolute truth. And both these Brahman effulgence and Paramatma features are lower. Everybody with me so far?
Yes, Prabhu.
Now that you understand the difference between real dharma and lower pretentious dharma, and establish that Srimad Bhagavatam is higher than Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. Hence now a question is, who has the right to perform this highest dharma of Srimad Bhagavatam? And the answer is given in the very first line, says Nirmat Saranam. So Nirmat Saranam means non-envious. It's not just non-envious, there is no tendency to envy anyone at all. Meaning all of you are Nirmat Saranam. Srimad Bhagavatam can only be understood by devotees who are pure at heart, meaning Nirmat Saranam, all of you. Because Srimad Bhagavatam is purely transcendental literature which can be understood only by pure devotees of the Lord who are transcendental to competitive sense gratification. Driven by lower consciousness, human turn to religion to lord over the material nature, to satisfy senses. Hence, man perform pious activities for some material gain. Economic gains are needed for sense gratification. Therefore, everybody is running up and down 24 hours. In reality, one must be anxious to hear this transcendental message from Srimad Bhagavatam, from pure devotees, about Krishna and Krishna's devotees. The desire to sincerely hear Srimad Bhagavatam is the first qualification. So in the last line it says, Tushroshobi. It means attentively and submissively hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Anybody can think of examples of devotees showing enviousness? Somebody? Any examples? Dipali is humble. Okay. Some examples. Dipali is saying she can only think of herself as being envious. That's okay. You don't have to beat yourself up. Some examples of devotees showing envy against others. I'm talking about devotees. Material world is full of envy. I'm talking about devotees. Somebody?
Hare Krishna. So some devotee, they want to do the kirtan, and there are some others already doing the same kirtan.
Yeah, so take away others' service. Very good, correct point. That for your service, you are taking away or pulling down the other one. This is because of envy. Very good. In the material world, also there is competition. But the competition is spiritual, means if somebody is doing good service, then the other devotee will come and serve this devotee. Let me please serve you so that I can get a pinch of your devotion. Very good example. Somebody else? Any other examples of envy among devotees?
Hare Krishna, dear Prabhuji. Sometimes one devotee is doing service, another Prabhuji is my service. Who is my service? Okay, you cannot say it's my service. They should, as you say, humbly you must serve that devotee. It happens quite often in the kitchen. Sorry about that.
Yeah, very good. When you are saying this is my service, Hare Baba, you are in the I, me, mine concept. Okay, very good. Somebody else? Okay, let me give some examples and you can visualize next time you are at the temple for services and visualize for yourself. So Matan Prabhu and Vijay Prabhu gave correct answers about services, taking away somebody's services or saying this is my service. Or another is devotees fighting for no reason, or there is verbal abuse among devotees. Service taken away, we already discussed. Or another example is devotee think that they are the best pujari, or they think they are the best book distributors. Therefore, these so-called best pujaris or so-called best book distributors, they will demand respect. Arey Baba, you are supposed to do service. You are supposed to be servant. How are you demanding service from others? So these are some examples. Or another example is that you bring material world envious nature into your service. Your glorification of Shri Radha Krishna or devotees is only in name. In reality, you are trying to glorify your own self. So I request all of you, I'm pretty sure all of you must have experienced or seen all these envious nature. My request to all of you is that let us all cultivate the mood of not finding fault in anyone. Grow your Nirmat Saranam quality. Nirmat Saranam means you don't forget envy. You don't even have any inclination to envy anyone. So I request all of you that develop this mood of non-enviousness, and the result will be very soon. Ishvara sadhyo hriday avaradute atra kitbhi shushoshobi tatsanat. That Ishvara, Lord, will very soon manifest in your heart. We all should be happy to see other devotees progress in Krishna consciousness rather than pulling the devotees down. Questions, comments, realizations before we read one paragraph? Mansi?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So I have one question. So I want to ask that who falls under the category of devotees? Like if anyone is regularly coming to the temple and serving the Lord, but not following the four regulative principles and it's not chanting. So are they called devotees?
Very good. Somebody answer, Mansi. We have discussed this at great length. Who is a devotee and who is not a devotee? Everybody should know the answer to this. We have discussed this at great length. Somebody please answer.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. May I
Vijay
answer,
Prabhu,
please?
hold on.
Okay.
Somebody else?
Everyone else is a devotee, and that's how we see it.
Okay, very good. Everybody is a devotee except me. Very good. Vijay Prabhu?
Hare Krishna. Actually, that person is great. He has accepted the process of devotional service. So meantime, he will get pure by mercy of Krishna. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, there are four kind of person come to me. They are also all the great person. So we should appreciate them.
Yeah, very good. Very good, correct point. So Vijay Prabhu quoted Bhagavad Gita 7.16 that four kinds of people come to Krishna. One of them is even wealth seeker. So everybody is a devotee except me. Therefore, we need to respect each and every person in the material world as well as each and every devotee coming to the temple as well. Everybody is a devotee. Mansi?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you.
Questions,
And one
comments?
and one more question, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So what is the Gyan Kand?
Gyan Kand is Gyan Yoga, that somebody is studying scriptures just to get out of the material world entanglement. And as soon as they are liberated, they Gyan Yoga, the highest destination they can attain is Brahman effulgence. As soon as they attain Brahman effulgence, they stop their spiritual activities. Mansi?
Okay, Prabhu. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Subro Prabhu, you want to read paragraph number 4, which starts with saying the impersonal aspect of the absolute truth?
The impersonal aspect of the absolute truth is not the highest. Above the impersonal feature is the Paramatma feature, and above this is the personal feature of the absolute truth or Bhagwan. Srimad Bhagavatam gives information about the absolute truth in his personal feature. It is higher than impersonalist literatures and higher than the Gyan Kanda division of the Vedas. It is even higher than the Karma Kanda division and even higher than the Upasana Kanda division, because it recommends the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. In the Karma Kanda, there is competition to reach heavenly planets for better sense gratification. And there is similar competition in the Gyan Kanda and the Upasana Kanda. The Srimad Bhagavatam is superior to all of this because it aims at the supreme truth, which is the substance or the root of all categories. From Srimad Bhagavatam, one can come to know the substance as well as the categories. The substance is the absolute truth, the supreme Lord, and all emanations are relative forms of energy. Nothing is apart from the substance, but at the same time, the energies are different from the substance. This conception is not contradictory. Srimad Bhagavatam explicitly promulgates this simultaneously one and different philosophy of the Vedanta Sutra, which begins with the Janmadis Ayasa Sutra.
Okay. Questions, comments, realizations? So next, I will explain to you how to memorize 1.1.2 verse, similar to how I explained to you about 1.1.1. So same way, if you split each line into half, it becomes very easy to memorize 1.1.2. So 1.1.2 starts with Dharma Projeta Kaitava, that you are completely rejecting material motivated religion. Atra Paramo Nirmat Saram Satam, that propounds the highest truth, is understandable by the devotees who are pure in heart, non-envious. The second line says, Vedyam Vastam Atra Vastu Shivadam, meaning distinguishes highest reality from illusion for the welfare of all. And this word, Tapatraya Unmulanam, looks like a very big word. Prabhupada has split into in small words for us to understand. So Tapatraya refers to the threefold miseries. Unmulunam means you are uprooting. So Tapatraya Unmulunam, that you are uprooting the threefold miseries. Then Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite, that Srimad Bhagavatam is compiled by Srila Vyasadeva, is sufficient for God realization. Kimva Parer means what's the need for any other scripture? And the word Ishvara from the third line actually fits in the next line, that Ishvara Sadhyo Riddhi Avaradute, that Supreme Lord is established within the heart at once. Atra kirtbhi shushushobi tatshanat, that as soon as one attentively and submissively hears Srimad Bhagavatam. Are you all ready to memorize, recite the verse?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
All right. So I request all of you to unmute and recite one line after me. So let me first recite the whole verse so you can follow. Vijay Prabhu, stay muted. There is background noise. Vijay Prabhu, please stay muted. There is background noise. So I will first recite the whole verse and then you recite one line at a time. Now, this one line, even though I have split, is for your memorization. So when we recite one line, we recite the whole line. Dharma projata kaitava atra paramo nirmat saram satam. Not that we only recite half. The half and half is for you to learn how to memorize. So let me first recite the whole verse and then I will ask you all to unmute. 1.1.2 Dharma projeta kaitava atra paramo nirmat saram satam vedyam vastvam atra svastu shivadam tapatrayo unmulunam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kim Vapare Ishvara Satyo Hridi Avaradute Atra Kirtibi Shushushobi Tachanat. I request all of you to please unmute and recite one line after me, please. Dharma Projeta Kaitavo Atra Paramo Nirmat Saram Satam.
Dharma Projeta Kaitavo Atta Paramo Nirmat Satam.
Vedyam Vastvam Atra Vastu Shivadam Tapatrayo Unmulunam.
Vidya
Vastu
Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kim Vapare
Srimad Bhagavate
Mahamuni
Ishvara Sadhyo Hridi Avaradute Atra Kirtibi Shushushobi Tachanat.
Ishvara
Okay, take a snapshot of what you have on screen, and of course this is one of your homework for today is to memorize this verse. Anybody has memorized 1.1.1 would like to recite? I know some of you memorized. Even if you have to look up from the verse, you can recite without looking is best. But if somebody wants to recite.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Go ahead, Prabhu. Prabhu.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dharmadhyo yanti tarotas abhigya savrat tene brahmahrdaya adi kaviye mohiyanti yatsurya. Tejo varimidam yata vinimayo yatrat trisargo mirsha dhamna srina sada nirsast kuhakam satyam paramadhimahe.
Super excellent. Anybody else wants to try?
Prabhu, I would like to.
Go ahead.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadi Asya Yato Anvayat Vichirasa Sa Atadvesu Abhinaisvarat Tene Brahma Sidaye Adikavaye Muyyanti Yat Suraya Tejo Vari Mridam Yatat Vimayo Yatra Sri Satko Amrita Damna Svena Sada Nirasta Kuham Satyam Param Dhimahi.
Super excellent. Anybody else wants to try?
Prabhuji, can I try?
Deepali, go ahead.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय जन्मादि अस्य यतो न्यादात् इतरस कर्थस्व अभिनः स्वरात् तेने ब्रह्मार्दायाधि कवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सुरहय तेजो वारीम्रां यथा विन्मयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धम्मा स्वेना सदा निरस्ता कुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि.
Super excellent. So follow what I gave you the last time, the slide, and how I gave you 1.1.2. It should become very, very easy to memorize, just as all those who have recited now. So it's very easy. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadi Asya Yato Anvayaditarascharteshu Abhigyana Swarat Tene Brahmaridaya Adikavaye Muyanti Yatsuraya Tejo Vari Mridam Yata Vinimayo Yatra Te Sarga Amrasha Dhamne Swena Sadanirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Deimahi. Anybody still wants to recite?
Prabhuji, can I try one more time?
Go ahead, Vimal Prabhu.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmosthay Yaton Vyadi Taratas Charthesh Abhigya Savrat Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye Mohiyanti Yatsarya Tejo Varimidham Yatha Vinimayo Yatrat Trisargo Mrisha Dhamna Svena Sada Niraste Kuhakam Satyam Paramadhimehe.
Super excellent. And the same you can do for 1.1.2. It's follow the breakdown of each line into two parts, the slide that I gave you, and it should be same way easy. So 1.1.2 is Dharma Prajayita Kaitava Atra Paramo Nirmatsaram Satam Vedyam Vastvam Atra Vashutsivadam Tapatraya Unmulunam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kim Vapare Ishvara Sadhyo Hridi Avradute Atra Kirtabi Sushushobi Tachanat. Questions, comments, realizations?
Prabhu just humbled to the realization that, as Guru Maharaj always says, ancient wisdom literature, written 5,000 years ago, but still relevant, even seems like it's speaking to us even this age.
Yeah, you are correct. Okay, so 1.1.3 is optional key memorization verse. It, of course, is a very important verse. The first three verses are prelude to the whole of Srimad Bhagavatam. So I will recite. I am not going to give you the breakdown. This verse is not very long. You can memorize by yourself. I will recite. If you want, you can recite one line after me. First, let me recite. So 1.1.3. Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam sukha mukat amrita dravya samyutam pibata bhagavatam rasayam alayam muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavuka. Would all of you want to recite one line after me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, recite one line after me, please. 1.1.3. Nigama kalpatarur galitam phalam. Shukha mukat amrita dravya samyutam. Pibata bhagavatam rasam alayam. Muhuraho rasukya bhuvi bhavuka. Very good.
This is short and
Yeah, very good. Memorize. Memorize. Sumnima, if you can please read the translation from the screen.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. O expert and thoughtful men, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desired tree of Vedic lectures. It emanated from the lips of Sri Sukadeva Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls.
Hare Krishna. So the theme of verse number 3 is that Srimad Bhagavatam is not only to be heard, rather Srimad Bhagavatam is to be relished. One has to drink Srimad Bhagavatam with ears. Now, how can you drink? Is by relishing Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Srimad Bhagavatam is not only to be heard, but you have to relish. And Srimad Bhagavatam is originally itself sweet and became more sweeter when it is touched by Sukadeva Goswami. So Sukha means parrot, just as in the material world. Say you have a fruit which is touched by any bird, and you will realize that that particular fruit is actually very sweet. Similarly, even though the verse here says Sukha, it actually refers to Sukadeva Goswami, but the other meaning of Sukha is actually parrot also, that any bird which touches a fruit, it becomes sweet. That same analogy is explained here also. So, how do you drink Srimad Bhagavatam? There is nothing to be rejected in Srimad Bhagavatam. Example, mango. Many of you are from India, almost all of you are from India. That you eat apus mango, you eat the mango or you swallow or relish the juice, and you throw away the seed and you throw away the skin. Some devotees actually eat the skin also, but at least at least the seed from inside the mango you throw away. But Srimad Bhagavatam is full of rasa. Each and every word is full of rasa, and therefore there is nothing to be rejected in Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam is coming through parampara. Therefore, you relish and drink. To understand this, an example is given that if a fruit from the tree falls on the ground, then the fruit gets mixed with dirt, and you cannot relish the fruit because dirt is mixed. But Srimad Bhagavatam came through parampara. Therefore, there is no dirt at all. Srimad Bhagavatam is nectarian juice that can be relished by all, and it can be relished even by materialistics people. If envious materialists get mercy of a pure devotee, then they can also relish Srimad Bhagavatam. Their materialistic desires will change. Just as Srila Sukadeva Goswami got attracted to Srimad Bhagavatam simply by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from a woodcutter. Now this relish, how do you relish Srimad Bhagavatam? Is what you can apply in your day-to-day life from each chapter. That is how you relish. And I have told you important words. For example, if you go to 1.1.1, you have important words like abhigyana, like swarat, or janmadi asya yato, or you have satyam param dhimahi. So when you are doing your chanting your japa, when your mind is running here and there, you can remember all these words, or you can remember Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. You can bring your mind back by remembering these words and the meaning of all these words. Same way, if you go to 1.1.2, you can same way remember Dharma Projayata Kaitava. You can remember Nirmat Saranam. You can remember the meaning of all of this. And you can remember Ishvara Sadhyo Riddhi Avaradute. All these you can remember the whole verse. I'm not saying don't remember the whole verse. Just giving examples that you can start small and then you can keep growing. So all of a sudden, your japa quality will increase. Normally, at least for me, when I'm doing japa, I'm making my to-do list. I'm not really listening to my japa. But if you use these, what I'm trying to show you, you use these examples, you will be able to bring your mind back little easier. The mind is still going to wander, but it will become easier and easier and easier to keep bringing your mind back under the control of the soul as you keep practicing this, and little by little, your japa quality will increase. Devotees from previous batches who have practiced this, they have explained that by following this process, their japa quality has increased. But of course, they have to continue following that. Now, Srimad Bhagavatam is described as ripened fruit of all Vedic knowledge. The question is why? So Srimad Bhagavatam narrates the transcendental pastimes of the Lord and his devotees. Thus, the subject matter is appealing to all classes of persons, including those who seek liberation and those who seek to become one with the Supreme Whole. Srimad Bhagavatam is mature and ripe in knowledge. Srimad Bhagavatam is the mature fruit of all Vedic literatures. Sorry. Srimad Bhagavatam is the cream of all Vedic literatures. Srimad Bhagavatam is exactly received from right source in disciplic succession, as Srila Narad Muni brought Srimad Bhagavatam from spiritual world, gave to his disciple Srila Vyasadeva, and Vyasadeva delivered Srimad Bhagavatam to Sukadeva Goswami, and Sukadeva Goswami delivered Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, and this way it came to all of us, that it has come in right disciplic succession. And just as a ripened fruit, which has the sweet flavor, is enhanced when the fruit is cut by the beak of a bird, similarly, Srila Sukadeva Goswami is compared to a parrot. Srimad Bhagavatam is presented through the lips of Sukadeva Goswami. Thus, it enhances transcendental taste of Srimad Bhagavatam. One has to hear submissively to relish the transcendental taste. We discussed this in 1.1.2 about being submissive to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam. Sukadeva Goswami is compared to a parrot, not for his ability to recite Srimad Bhagavatam exactly as he heard it from his learned father, Srila Vyasadeva, but for his ability to present the work in a manner that would appeal to all classes of men. That's a quick summary of 1.1.3. Any questions, comments, realizations? We'll read a few parts in the purport. Divya?
Prabhuji, can you just repeat that last line? Last line.
Yeah. So Sukadev Goswami is compared to a parrot, not for his ability to recite Srimad Bhagavatam exactly as he heard it from his learned father Srila Vyasadeva, but for his ability to present the work in a manner that would appeal to all classes of men. And this discussion will come up in Canto 1, Chapter 4, where it will describe that one of the quality of the presenter or speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam is that he should speak in an appealing manner, in an interesting manner. Philosophy is very boring, but if you speak in an appealing and an interesting manner, then it will attract even ordinary materialistic people. Divya?
Thank you very much.
Okay. So let's read.
Hare Krishna.
Archana,
I have a question. In the beginning, you asked us the question about Sukadev Goswami has spoken the Srimad Bhagavatam and Vyasadeva has compiled. But now you are saying here that he spoke to Sukadev Goswami. Then why in a Bhagavad Gita we are saying that Sukadev Goswami has spoken the Srimad Bhagavatam?
Yeah, so Bhagavatam, there are many versions I described at our overview class. Srimad Bhagavatam is spoken by many. The one that we have, we essentially got it from Srila Sukadev Goswami. That Sukadev Goswami spoke to Parikshit Maharaj, and at that time, Suta Goswami was also present, and Suta Goswami repeated what Sukadev Goswami spoke. Therefore, it said that Sukadev Goswami spoke with, that's the latest version that we have. Of course, it's recited. The version that we have in the printed form is actually spoken by Suta Goswami, but Suta Goswami is simply repeating what Sukadev Goswami spoke. Archana?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, got it.
All right. Brijesh Prabhu, read paragraph number 1 from the screen, purport. Vishal?
Hare Krishna. In the two previous slokas, it has been definitely proved that the Srimad Bhagavatam is the sublime literature which surpasses all other Vedic scriptures due to its transcendental qualities. It is transcendental to all mundane activities and mundane knowledge. In this sloka, it is stated that Srimad Bhagavatam is not only a superior literature, but is the ripened fruit of all Vedic literatures. In other words, it is the cream of all Vedic knowledge. Considering all this, patient and submissive hearing is definitely essential. With great respect and attention, one should receive the message and lessons imparted by the Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
Okay, very good. Okay, let's read paragraph number 5. Priyanka, it says the Supreme Personality of Godhead is therefore.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is therefore described in the Shruti mantras, Vedic hymns as the fountainhead of all rasas. When one associates with the Supreme Lord and exchanges one's constitutional rasa with the Lord, then the living being is actually happy.
Okay,
Hare
very
Krishna.
good. So the paragraph says about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, let's read paragraph number 8. It says in this shloka, let's see who wants to read. Mansi, faster pace.
It's Hare Krishna. Prabhu. In this shloka, it is definitely stated that spiritual rasa, which is realized even in the liberated stage, can be experienced in the literature of the Srimad Bhagavatam due to its being the ripened fruit of all Vedic knowledge. By submissively hearing this transcendental literature, one can attain the full pleasure of his heart's desire. But one must be very careful to hear the message from the right source. Srimad Bhagavatam is exactly received from the right source. It was brought by Narad Muni from the spiritual world and given to his disciple Sri Vyasadeva. The latter, in turn, delivered the message to his son Srila Sukdev Goswami, and Srila Sukdev Goswami delivered the message to Maharaj Parikshit just 7 days before the king's death. Srila Sukdev Goswami was a liberated soul from his very birth. He was liberated even in the womb of his mother, and he did not undergo any sort of spiritual training after his birth. At birth, no one is qualified, neither in the mundane or nor in the spiritual sense. But Sri Sukdev Goswami, due to his being a perfectly liberated soul, did not have to undergo an evolutionary process for spiritual realization. Yet, despite his being a completely liberated person situated in the transcendental position above the three material modes, he was attracted to this transcendental rasa of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is adored by liberated soul who sing Vedic hymns. The Supreme Lord's pastimes are more attractive to liberated soul than the mundane people. He is not he is of necessity not impersonal impersonal, because it is only possible to carry on transcendental rasa with a person. Thank you.
So talks about that Bhagavatam can attract anyone and everyone. Chandran Prabhu, last paragraph.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, the last paragraph of this one should start. Am I right? One should conclude, therefore, that the serious student of the rasa should receive the message of Bhagavatam in chain of disciplic succession from Srila Sukadeva Goswami, who describes the Bhagavatam from its very beginning, not whimsically to satisfy the mundaner who has very little knowledge in transcendental science. Srimad Bhagavatam is so carefully presented that a sincere and serious person can at once enjoy the ripened fruit of Vedic knowledge simply by drinking the nectarian juice through the mouth of Sukadeva Goswami or his bona fide representative. Hare Krishna.
How many times have we read this? That read Srimad Bhagavatam in sequence and not whimsically. So many times has come up. Everybody, yes, no?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
So anybody tells you that you can just read Srimad Bhagavatam and you will get the benefit? There are so many references. It came in introduction. It's here. We have only covered 3 verses and it has already come up so many times. Show them this. You will hear from devotees who don't read Srimad Bhagavatam themselves, but they say, oh yeah, you read 10 to 10, Ras Leela, blah, blah, blah. Are Baba, read in sequence. So let's summarize what all we have covered in the first 3 verses. The first 3 verses are the prelude or the basis of the entire Srimad Bhagavatam. So the summary is that first we establish Krishna as the highest absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We discussed real religion versus pretentious religion, and we reject Kaitava Dharma, we reject pretentious religion. Srimad Bhagavatam establishes highest religiosity, highest truth, and the highest truth is the worship of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is higher than Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of all Vedic literature, and Srimad Bhagavatam is to be relished, just as in South India you relish rasam. Therefore, in 1.1.3, the word rasam is mentioned exactly for this reason. Questions, comments, realizations before I give you homework? Okay. Homework question number 1. So all these are spiritual endeavors. You shouldn't call it homework, but spiritual endeavors. Spiritual endeavor, question number 1. Real religion versus pretentious religion. Explain. Comes from 1.1.2. Second, explain Nirmatsaranam. Again comes from 1.1.2. Third, why is Srimad Bhagavatam ripened fruit? Comes from 1.1.3. So at the next class, you all will take turns to explain answers to these 3 questions. Everyone should be able to answer. These are pretty straightforward questions to answer. Question number 4 is for next class. Please read Canto 1, Chapter 1, verse number 4 to the end of the chapter, including the purports, and try to find the 6 questions the sages are asking. Number 5 is the practice for you all to do 24 hours, is to remember the Sanskrit words that I showed you from all these initial 3 verses and their meanings, all while you are chanting, while you are taking shower, while you are cooking and cleaning at your home. Remember Srimad Bhagavatam 24 hours and you will end up relishing, and the result will be that you will get purified because you are associating with Srimad Bhagavatam. And I will send you a Google link to populate striking points and inquiries. So on the Google link, I will not post these questions. These questions you will answer at the next class before we continue with the following verses. On the Google link, you are only populating the striking points from our today's discussion and the inquiries from today's discussion. Everybody clear on the homework?
Yes, Prabhu.
And of course, memorize verses. That's a continuous process. I don't need to say it again and again. Read, the standard homework is to read the purports of all the verses we have covered and memorized, that's a standard part. I don't need to say that again. We have about 15 minutes left. Would you all like to listen to Guru Maharaj's Kirtan again?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I will only play the Nachre Amar Man, because that was that's the highlight of.
Sorry to interrupt. Is complete video available for the Kirtan?
Yeah, it's available. I can send you a link.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, bro.
I will send you a link. Whosoever
Prabhu,
want,
please send to us, please, Prabhu.
I will post it in the chat right now, and you can just take it from there. I will post it right now. Okay, let's hear.
Intoxication, the love of Krishna went everywhere. He gave everyone Krishna prema. Joyamita Nach Re Amar Ma Joyamita Chaitanya Nach Re Amar Ma 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 Hey! Joyamita Chaitanya Guru Hey! Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda rose on the high rise of Gauda Desh, just like if the sun and the moon rose simultaneously in this world. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda came to dissipate the darkness of ignorance within the hearts of every living being. He came in the dark age of Kali Yuga. All the lotuses bloom in the daytime. But in Kali Yuga, the white lotus of good fortune blooms at night, in the night of Kali Yuga. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda illuminate the night. Srila Prabhupada, with such focus and determination, went all over India with his books. And following the orders of the spiritual master, he got on a ship, which is there in Calcutta. You can go and see it. Not the ship, but the dock. And you drive over the bridge, and you look down to the dock where Prabhupada got onto the Jaladita. You'll find that it's on the Ganga. The Jaladita was on the Ganga. And Prabhupada got on that boat, went out into the ocean, traveled Boston Harbor, went to New York City. He went to the park. He sat down in Thompson Square Park by himself. He started chanting Hare Krishna. And the first thing that happened was the police came and said, you can't do that here. You got to move off the grass, sit under the tree. Prabhupada sat under the tree and he kept chanting. Then a Chutananda came and Brahmananda came. They started, Bruce and whatever Chutananda's name was, they started dancing. Prabhupada invited them back to hear the Bhagavad Gita. And more people came. And that's how the Krishna conscious movement started. By one kirtan, Thompson Square Park. Now there's devotees all over the world. There's not any time in any day when there's not a kirtan going on somewhere, in some time zone, because of Srila Prabhupada. And everyone is learning more and more about the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you dive into the ocean, the Sankirtan movement was chanting, dancing, and feasting. You'll come up on the shore of the pastimes of Shri Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in this last line of his song, he says, oh, how wonderful it is, the mercy of Lord Gauranga. Gaura Kripa Hole Hai. And now, you're really quiet, and you listen. You can hear in Milton, in Brandon, Scarborough, Winnipeg, Muskoka, Sudbury. You can hear a sound. Gaur. Give me the Gaur note. Gaur Kripa Hole. There it is. C-D-E-F. F. Gaur Kripa Hole. Gaura Kripa. You can hear it. Gaura Kripa Hole.
Everybody pumped up? Are we okay to stop here?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, everybody. I sent you the link. You are free to listen to the entire as much as you want. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, everybody.